You ever feel like you're just swimming in a sea of information? You read an article, you watch a documentary, or you take a course, and then a week later, it feels like it's all just vanished. It's such a common feeling, right? This pressure to not only learn new things, but to actually make them stick.
But what if I told you that your mental capacity isn't set in stone? What if you actually have the power to improve your ability to learn and remember? Well, you do. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into, starting with the incredible science that makes it all possible.
You see, the foundation for all of this isn't just some motivational idea. No, it's a hardwired biological reality of your brain. It's a concept called neuroplasticity.
So try to think of your brain less like a fixed piece of hardware and more like this incredibly adaptable software that you can actively upgrade. Every new thing you try, every skill you practice, it physically changes your brain. It's literally forging new pathways. It's this amazing dynamic process happening all the time.
There's this classic phrase in neuroscience that just says it all. The more you use a specific pathway in your brain, say by practicing guitar or recalling a fact, the stronger and more efficient that connection becomes. You are literally wiring your brain to be better at the things you do most often.
Okay, so knowing our brains can change is the what. But what about the how? How do we actually direct that change effectively? Well, it's time to move past just memorizing stuff and look at some techniques for getting to a real deep understanding. First up, we've got a powerhouse method from the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Richard Feynman. His whole thing was, if you really understand a concept, you should be able to explain it in super simple terms. This isn't just a memory trick, it's a tool for true comprehension. And the process is a really simple four-step loop. First, you just pick a topic you want to learn. Then, and this is the key part, you try to explain it like you're teaching it to a kid. Use simple language. This is where the magic happens, because you will immediately find the spots where you get stuck or where your explanation gets fuzzy. Those are your knowledge gaps. So then, you go back to the material, fill in those gaps, and then you try to simplify your explanation all over again. You just keep doing that until it's absolutely crystal clear.
And that's why it's so powerful. It forces you to confront the parts of your knowledge that are still kind of shaky. It turns you from a passive reader into an active builder of understanding.
This ties directly into another crucial practice, active recall. So instead of just rereading your notes over and over, you close the book and you try to recall the information from scratch. That act of pulling information out of your brain is what really strengthens those neural pathways we talked about earlier.
All right, we've covered deep learning. Now let's switch gears and focus on making that knowledge actually stick around. Here are two incredibly simple but proven strategies for boosting your memory.
Take a look at that long number on the left. It's kind of hard to remember, right? Now look at the one on the right. Instantly easier. That is chunking. See, our short-term memory can only handle so much at once, but when we group information into smaller, meaningful chunks, we can hold on to way more.
Now this next one is the absolute enemy of cramming. It's called spaced repetition. So instead of reviewing something 10 times in one night, you review it today, then again in 2 days, then in a week, and then maybe a month. And why does this work? Because you're forcing your brain to recall that information right as you're about to forget it. And that struggle is what makes the memory so much stronger.
The result of this is so powerful. We all naturally forget things over time. It's a concept known as the forgetting curve. But every time you use spaced repetition, you flatten that curve. You're pushing the information deeper and deeper into your long-term memory until it's truly locked in for good.
So far, we've been focused on all these mental techniques. But here's the thing. None of them are going to work as well as they could if the biological hardware isn't running in top shape. So let's talk about the essential role of physical health.
It's really easy to forget that your brain is a physical organ. It's not just floating around in your head in isolation. It's part of this huge, complex system. Its performance is directly tied to things like blood flow, hormones, and nutrients, all of which are managed by the rest of your body.
To really get neuroplasticity, you have to know about a protein called BDNF. And the best way to think about it is like Miracle-Gro or fertilizer for your brain. It's this absolutely crucial compound that literally promotes the growth and survival of your brain cells. It's amazing stuff.
And guess what boosts BDNF more than anything else? You got it, exercise. Study after study shows that regular physical activity doesn't just make you fit, it can physically increase the size of your hippocampus. That's the memory center of your brain. The science is totally clear on this. A moving body builds a stronger mind.
Okay, there is one last piece to this puzzle, and honestly, it's the one most of us neglect. You can do all the learning, all the exercising you want, but without this final piece, those gains just aren't going to stick.
A lot of us think of sleep as just our brain shutting down for the night, right? But that couldn't be more wrong. As Dr. Stickgold's work shows, your brain is incredibly busy while you sleep. It's replaying events from the day, strengthening important memories, and literally cleaning out cellular junk. This whole process is called memory consolidation.
And this isn't random. This active process is highly structured. As you cycle through the different stages of sleep, from light sleep to deep sleep to REM sleep, your brain is performing different jobs, all related to memory. Think of it like a critical nightly maintenance routine for your mind.
Now, this is so important to understand. Pulling an all-nighter to study is just about the worst thing you can do. You might cram some information in there for a little while, but by skipping that first night's sleep, you completely miss the most critical window for locking that memory in. And you can't just catch up on it later. That opportunity is gone.
Phew! We've covered a lot of ground here, from the basic science of our brains to specific techniques to lifestyle habits. So let's bring it all together now into a clear, actionable toolkit.
So here it is, the whole shebang. First, never forget that your brain is plastic. It can and will change. Second, learn actively. Use tools like the Feynman Technique. Don't just passively review. Third, use smart memory techniques like chunking and spaced repetition to make things stick. And finally, don't forget the foundations. Fuel your brain with regular exercise and prioritize sleep to lock it all in.
Look, this isn't just some theoretical knowledge. It's a practical guide. The potential to reshape how your mind works is real, and it's available to you starting right now. So the only question left is, what's the first step you're going to take to unlock it?